Jesus never came to start a new religion with a different name, but he came, according to John 4:22, to fulfill Judaism.
Now, first of all, look at Christ himself. I mean, he was a Jewish teacher from the Galilee. He wasn't a Palestinian teacher. He was a Jewish teacher with a Jewish name, Yeshua.
Jesus was a Jew. His followers were Jews. His entire community were Jews.
I think that the Jewish Messiah came. His name was Jesus.
Jesus was a Pharisee.
We see people like Adam Green, who I did a debate with, but constantly talking about Christians as Jew worshipers. And certainly we worship Jesus Christ, who was a Jewish man.
When it comes to who is a Jew, well, it's the person who has faith in the ultimate Jew, Christ.
I agree that the Torah is the Word of God. I agree that the Jews were God's chosen people. If the Jews followed the Torah, there would be no problem.
You know, the first Christian community was Jewish.
This is awesome.
The apostles were Jewish. Jesus was Jewish.
Alex Jones.
The first Christians who were
Odysee
all
Jones too.
Jewish Christians.
We all got to bow down to the Messiah.
Mary,
Peter,
Peter, James, John. These are all Jews who accepted Jesus as Messiah. Jesus, although obviously he's the divine Son of God, is also himself a first century what? Jew. He's a rabbi.
The compelling Jesus is the one who fulfills the story of Israel. Any form of anti-Semitism is morally repugnant. Go back to Pius XI, that we're all spiritually Semites, he said, in regard to Christians.
In the early history of the church, many Christians saw themselves as Jews. They saw themselves as a faithful Jew who had recognized the Messiah had come.
You know, if you're born again today, I'm talking to everybody. If you're born, you are Jewish. You are spiritually Jewish. It's the most Jewish thing in the world. I mean, it's this thing called Christianity.
John 4 and verse 22. Jesus himself said, salvation
most Jewish
is
thing
of
in the
world.
Jews.
Meaning, I would not be here, Jesus the Messiah, if it were not for the Jewish race.
Jesus never came.
Think about the 1,000-year millennial reign of Christ that's coming.
What part of 1,000 years do you not understand?
And the 1,000-year reign of Christ, Jesus Christ is going to rule with a rod of iron.
The armies in heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, followed him.
That means his dick.
Out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he should strike the nations. He himself will rule them with a rod of iron. He himself treads the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. He has on his robe and his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
It's going to be a monarchy with Jesus Christ ruling and reigning, the perfect leader.
Friends, the throne of David is not in Washington, D.C. The throne of David was in Zion in Jerusalem.
So it's very clear, when he comes back, he's not coming back to Rome, he's not coming back to Russia, he's coming back to Jerusalem with his people. In fact, he says, I will not come again until my people say, Baruch haba, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. You need Israel for that.
You damn right, I love the Jews.
Bible prophecy, let me give you the short answer. Absolutely. Final Bible prophecy revolves around the Jews and the nation of Israel.
And so, isn't it interesting that the narrative of Satan is to try to destroy a nation that Jesus said he's coming back to? And that he's going to reestablish the Jewish people. So what does Satan want to do about that? He wants to destroy the borders of this nation Israel so no more Jews can make aliyah back to the land that God is calling them to, exactly that he said he would do in Isaiah 43, Ezekiel 36 and 37. These are all end-time prophecies happening before us, and we're watching people resist. Man, they got to read their Bible, and they got to change sides. They got to get on God's side.
Did you know that God, the God of the Bible, is a Zionist? It means this, that God believes that the throne of David will be on Mount Zion. It's God who believes that the children of Israel will return back to Zion. God says, I've put my name on Zion. Did you know that? So don't let CNN intimidate you. If you're not a Zionist, you are not an accurate biblical student. The Bible says every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, is Lord to the glory of God the Father. God's Messiah, sent to earth to save us from our sins, came as a Jew. God could have come to this world as a black.
Dutch.
Share the link, guys. Post it on social media. We got to reach more people.
German, you name it. He came as a Jew. God came to this world as a Jew. He's coming back as a resurrected man,
Perfect
Jesus
song
Christ.
choice.
Not only the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, but he's Jesus Christ, King of the Jews. His throne will be in Jerusalem, the Jewish capital, in the nation of Israel, the Jewish state. And he will sit upon the throne of David, an amazing Jewish
Watch the
musician
Collapse podcast
and warrior
and $5
and king.
on Rumble. All
All this rhetoric you're hearing, everybody, get
fuck Jacob,
pumped.
fuck Jesus,
We're in
fuck
the last
Yahweh, and
days.
fuck Abraham.
The kings of the
Yeshua
earth,
the snake bit the
the
white
United
man and poisoned us with
all
Christian
the
venom.
leaders of the world.
The antidote is blood and soil.
Kings there and their armies gathered together to make war against Jesus. How many of you know that's not smart? They're all gathered together. They're coming against Israel, but they're about to make war with Jesus. He's going to take the false prophet and the Antichrist, throw them alive into the lake of fire, kill all the people who have come against Israel, and he's going to bind Satan up for 1,000 years. And we're going to rule and reign with him on this planet for 1,000 years.
Rule and reign. Rule and reign with Yeshua, the Moshiach. Everybody does want to rule the world. Oh my gosh, where is this edit up? There we go. Yo, get this show started with an epic new mix from See Through It All. And the one before that, The Passion of the Jew Worshipper from Juan Garadas. This guy, academic agent, a few minutes ago just tweeted, let's follow him, just tweeted, has anyone concisely laid out the stages of the quote-unquote prophecy in such a way that does not involve me having to watch 15 hours of Adam Green? No E on the end there, buddy. Link me. And I said, See Through It All and John Garadas have made numerous short edits laying it out in the rabbi compilations, in just the prophecy compilations, because it's rabbis and Christians. Anyway, what's up, guys? No more news. October 16th, 2025, Thursday show. We're going to be talking about the latest Russia war developments and propaganda that I've been meaning to get to for a few shows. The new South Park episode with Peter Thiel and hardcore Christians trying to fight people. It's the clip I saw. And Roman technology, the genius of the Roman architecture and science and technology, and how Christianity set us back into the dark ages for probably about 1,000 years of lost development because of this Jewish fairy tale book and faith and being duped into the idea that prophecies are real. We got the power chats turned on. Big shout out to Watch the Collapse for that one that played during the intro there. I'll get those turned on. It's pinned in the link below. And over in the live chat on Rumble and Odysee where we're streaming. Thank you, Alabama. Powerchat.live/no-more-news to have your message played on the
Unity
show, contribute to the show.
$10 on Rumble. Gorshiak, you need an Adam Green was right tip jar. Thing would be in orbit right now. Cheers.
Well, the power chat is the tip jar for that now, apparently. But I think somebody has made one of the memes of Adam Green was right. I know there's an Adam Green apology forum. But those were some epic mixes. I love these mixes of all of like my adversaries, like Fuentes and Jones and Dyer and all of the Christian, so-called anti-Zionist Christian guys, all saying Jesus is Jewish, all parroting what the rabbis say, that they want every knee to bow and all the world to worship the God of Israel. Really powerful edits. Love them. Love starting the show with those. Okay, first clip, Russia war. This is yesterday. Pete Hegseth in Brussels making some comments about the Russia war. Trump has just made a phone call with Putin this morning and put out a statement that they're going to have a meeting, another meeting. So if that gets quickly resolved too, then then the boasting of Trump saving the world and being the art of the deal is going to go crazy.
Sent $5 on Rumble. Hey, Loden and Freya, blood and soil.
Thank you, Loki. Thank you, Loki. All right, first clip of Hegseth.
That's all that matters, hard power. It's the only thing belligerents actually respect. Your continued investment and leadership are vital to helping Ukraine defend itself and to bring an end to this conflict. Peace through strength. Now, Europe's political leaders have also endorsed military planning for the coalition of the willing by establishing an operational headquarters and committing personnel to that multinational force. Should a peace arrangement be
NATO meeting in Brussels
reached, European leaders are sending a clear message to Russia. Now is the time to end this tragic war, stop the needless bloodshed, and come to the peace table. Now, if this war does not end, if there is no path to peace in the short term, then the United States, along with our allies, will take the steps necessary to impose costs on Russia for its continued aggression. If we must take this step, the U.S. War Department stands ready to do our part in ways that only the United States can do. We remain clear-eyed about the fact that the most effective deterrents to Russian aggression are, number one, a lethal, capable, and European-led NATO. And number two, a
Kira Kristen sent $5.
Kira Kristen, hey girl.
Myself and others never see you live on my feed on Rumble homepage. Maybe give them a prod. Thanks for all you do.
Yeah, I know. I don't show up. I'm censored from the Rumble top streaming page. I don't know if it's because I was denied a check mark. They won't approve a check mark for me for Rumble, but I've checked that several times. You go to the front page and then go to click to live, and then you can see they have pages of all the top live streamers by view count, and I'm never on there where I'm supposed to be with, you know, I probably average about like 450 or 500 on Rumble, and it's never on there.
Credible Ukrainian military able to defend itself and their.
But who cares? Are like, it sucks that people won't find me, but if you're not on the trending page, but like, Kira, you follow me. It is BS. I know. I should complain more and say, hey, what's the deal with this? I'll check it again. I'll check it in a few minutes when a few more of you guys filter in here.
Continue to deter
we'll do
Russian aggression along NATO's border. Again,
complain.
Peace through strength. Under President Trump's steadfast leadership, and in particular with our European allies, we're going to bring an end to the war in Ukraine. The war must end. Like we saw him do in Gaza and in the Middle East, President Trump knows how to forge peace, to create opportunities in situations, in scenarios where peace seems far off. He and he alone has the ability to do that. This is not a war that started on President Trump's watch, but it will end on his watch. So let us seize this moment, strongly forge peace in Ukraine, and let's bring peace through strength. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was yesterday.
Do that. This is not a war that started on President Trump's. Under President Trump's steadfast leadership, and in particular with our European allies, we're going to bring an end to the war in Ukraine. The war must end. Like we saw him do in Gaza and in the Middle East, President Trump knows how to forge peace, to create opportunities in situations, in scenarios where peace seems far off. He and he alone has the ability to do that. This is not a war that started on President Trump's watch, but it will end on his watch. So let us seize this moment. Strong. It's great to see you. Great to see you. Absolutely. Great to be here.
Hold on, who is this? Arrives in Brussels, talks about firepower coming from NATO. Okay.
And Mark mentioned it, firepower. That's what is coming. We expect it is coming.
We're going to show you a bunch of clips of Russian shills always constantly talking about for us to get out of NATO. Like, we are NATO. NATO is just like a group of allies against the Soviet Union. That's what NATO is.
From NATO.
Led by America.
And it was a historic summit just a couple of months ago, brought about by leadership of President Trump to say we need our allies to step up. And they did.
Coalition against the Soviets.
Now those commitments will soon translate into capabilities, which is the most important aspect of it. And one part of that, of course, is Pearl, is the initiative where European countries buy U.S. weapons, transfer to NATO for the fight in Ukraine to bring peace to that conflict. And if there's anything we've learned under President Trump, is the active application of peace through strength. You get peace when you are strong, not when you use strong words or wag your finger. You get it when you have strong and real capabilities that adversaries respect. And I believe that's what NATO is doing. I believe that's what the Pearl Initiative is. So our expectation today is that more countries donate even more.
Remember Trump was bragging the other day that they've got the most advanced submarines, that he's like, Russia can't stop them. Russia doesn't know about them. He doesn't know where they're at. Maybe they're right over there by Russia. He was threatening all that stuff.
That they purchase even more to provide for Ukraine to bring that conflict to a peaceful conclusion. I would also note a historic moment as well for a lot of things to happen, given what the president's been able to do in Gaza and throughout the Middle East. I think the world is seeing that we have a peace president who seeks that peace through standing by those that stand with the United States and stand for peace, which is what we saw there, and I hope we can see in Ukraine. So that's the focus of our efforts. We're going to be strong to bring that about, and thanks for having us.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, a Putin meeting with the new leader of Syria, who Disclosed TV says is the former Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and HTS leader. Is that true? Is that true? Is that confirmed, or is that just like something that people online say? They really put a former leader of Al-Qaeda and ISIS in charge of Syria? I've seen the claim made several times. I just haven't looked into it. I haven't fact-checked it myself. Have you guys confirmed that? I know you've heard other people saying it, but have we confirmed it? And remember, Putin was close allies with Assad of Syria, and basically apparently did nothing to stop his overthrow. And then the guy fled to Russia. So now he's trying to be...
Tiffinal sent $5 on Rumble. Just promotion for you. Was not going to comment. Adam 23 years in the military. Russia can't see our subs.
Okay.
Both China and Russia have no idea.
I didn't doubt it. I didn't think Trump was bluffing, honestly. I thought he was trying to talk a big game. Well, thank you for confirming that.
10 Babble Mamas sent $10 on Rumble. Go and
10's
kill
too
Hamas
much.
if the violence continues. Donald Trump on Truth Social, who sent 200 U.S. troops a week ago. So much for peace. Nobel.
Peace through strength. Peace through war. War is peace. Come on, dude. This is 1984. Trump and Netanyahu bomb a bunch of people and kill a bunch of kids in Gaza, and then they award each other and pat each other on the back and praise each other as war heroes, and also the greatest, blessed are the peacemakers, and give each other, Netanyahu gives Trump a golden dove. As Trump brags, Bibi wanted this weapon and that weapon, and they were really good at using them. It's all such clown world gaslighting. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up. Like, if I look up Al Qaeda, the Syrian leader, is it gonna be like New York Times and mainstream media? Syrian rebels, HTS, remnants of the Islamic State. No. Hold on. I thought Netanyahu liked, and all the
Zornder
Zionists
sent
liked this guy too.
$5. Please give attention also to the build-up to striking Venezuela. It seems we have B-52 bombers being deployed now, I think.
Right. You know, I never cover South American stuff. My mind just kind of tunes out from it, but I have been hearing a lot about that. And I remember it was like the neocon something Abrams, the guy that looked like Dracula with the crazy eyebrows. He was a big Zionist neocon that Trump appointed to do a regime change in Venezuela, right? If memory serves correctly. So they're about to bomb Venezuela to take out the communist leader and steal all the oil? Put in a Zionist guy that's going to move the embassy and pray for the rebuilding of the Third Temple, like Milei in Argentina? Is that what they want to do? They just want to do the Milei option on all the countries around the world, right? Oh yeah, I was making a point too. I see everybody saying that this new leader of Syria is a Zionist. I saw a Syrian girl say he's a Zionist. So if Putin's sitting down with him and collaborating, are you going to admit Putin's a Zionist too? Powerchat option gone on Rumble. Watch the collapse. I'm getting donos in through Rumble though. Just the power chat option is gone. I don't know. Maybe I didn't know there was how that worked actually. No idea what they're saying, but it was something like they worked with the old Syria. They want to work with the new Syria. Dude, this guy. You see this guy marching out? Such clown world. Dude. He takes two steps and he's literally marching like a little green soldier. Or like some English security at the defending the Queen in England. Dave Green said he would be open to a debate. I have no idea who that is. Would be a good one. He's a trad cat. Okay, well, I'm down. When I'm done with my book, I'm gonna start calling out and trying to set up everybody for debates very soon. So here's the message. Trump just concluded his phone call with Putin, announcing high-level meetings will take place next week. Trump, I have just concluded my telephone conversation with Putin of Russia. It was very productive. Putin congratulated me in the United States on the great accomplishment of peace in the Middle East, something that he said has been dreamed of for centuries. I actually believe the success in the Middle East will help our negotiation in attaining an end to the war with Russia and Ukraine. President Putin thanked the First Lady Melania for her involvement with children. He was very appreciative and said that this will continue. He also spent a great deal of time talking about trade between Russia and the United States when the war with Ukraine is over. Oh, this is over. Dude, I'm telling you, Trump the peacemaker. Before all hell breaks loose, when the comet comes, when the asteroid comes in 2029, it'll be Trump, Golden Age, Zion, Dawn, MAGA King, rising of anti-Semitism, peace, Nobel Peace Prize. The distribute us on YouTube. Okay, let's see him. So you super chatted him or you know him or something? 30,000? I'm down. He's a Christian podcaster? Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Hasn't it been clear? I'll debate almost anyone besides fringe, nobody, no-name anons pushing Christian identity or some Gnosticism or irrelevant, non-existent, not real Christianity. Mention me in his comments. Cool. At the conclusion of the call, we agreed there will be a meeting for high-level advisors next week. U.S. initial meetings will be led by Marco Rubio, together with various people. Designated meeting location to be determined. Putin will then and I will meet in an agreed-upon location, Budapest, Hungary, to see if we can bring this inglorious war. I love it. Okay, he's named it now, the Inglorious War. Between Russia and Ukraine to an end. President Zelensky and I will be meeting tomorrow in the Oval Office where we will discuss my conversation with President Putin and much more. I believe great progress was made with today's telephone conversation. Dude, Trump on a roll. Everybody's going to be groveling at the MAGA King after this. What? Neil's video got taken down for hate speech? I didn't even get to watch it. He was on with some guy named like P.F. Chang or Chung or Young or something. And they talked about anti-Christianity. It already got taken down? Seriously? Dude, I didn't even get to see it. I wasn't even in it. What was the title of it again? You have the whole thing? Good. We'll have to repost that. I know you clipped it a few times. Okay, so here's Alex Jones. Remember, we're going to get to this. We've been meaning to get to this the last few shows. Alex Jones was on with Tucker Carlson, and right out of the gates, right off the bat, they go straight into Russia shilling from these two huge Putin simps. It's always, Russia's the angels. They're so Christian and good, and it's just the evil West is to blame for everything. It's completely black and white, and we need to pull out of NATO, and we need to give Ukraine to Russia. It was always theirs. It's just like complete Kremlin talking points. That's why their interview gets picked up and promoted by RT, and Alex Jones was just on RT recently. 2 clips. Let's just start. I just want to start, though, straight up. They start off from the very beginning. Update on Russia-Ukraine war. You mean like the latest developments in the Kremlin Vatnik propaganda? More like it.
Anonymous sent $5. Have you looked into the prophecies about the great monarch, who will be of Frankish descent? He will lead the European forces against the Muslims, destroying and running them out of Europe, pre-Antichrist arrival.
That's a Christian prophecy? No, I have not heard of that. It must be like fringe or unorthodox or something. Did you say that was Christian or a Muslim prophecy? I hear a lot of Zionists and rabbis say that their Antichrist figure comes from Rome. He's a European. The Left Behind series, it was a European guy. They really emphasize that. They compare him like the leader of the UN, of the European Union type of figure. A Gentile, Edom, Rome, in Judaism. Oh, what's the name? Armilus. Armilus is the king of Edom that's like an Antichrist figure also. So it's almost like the Christian Zionists blend in that the Antichrist figure is going to be European from the Armilus Jewish prophecies. Armilus, who kills the Moshiach ben Joseph, and then Moshiach ben David gets the vengeance and then destroys Edom and Armilus. Anyway.
Alex Jones, ladies and gentlemen, really glad to have you back.
It's always great to be with you and your wonderful crew in Florida, but Maine is my favorite. This is truly a little slice of Mayberry.
Mildly demented Mayberry. Thank you.
Calling a world during everything.
He always has his arms crossed. My interface never gives me audio in my right ear.
Everyone's been focused on Israel, Gaza, the huge debate about Israel and the United States, which is great, fine. But we sort of are ignoring other things that are happening here and abroad as we have that debate. And one of the things that seems to be happening that fewer Americans are aware of is the situation in Russia seems to be getting between Russia and Ukraine and the United States and Europe, NATO, seems to be degrading quickly. Where is that going, do you think?
It's an extreme escalatory phase 3.5+ years in. As you know, Trump says he's strongly considering giving them long range.
So your boy Trump is escalating now?
Cruise missiles. And Russia has said that escalates into direct war.
Well, Putin didn't make a deal. What else is Trump supposed to do?
And they're calling it World War IV. The CIA called the Cold War World War III. So we are really in with all the ingredients we have with China, the North Korean troops being in Ukraine, all the different proxy countries involved. This is really a new world war. The only question is, will it continue to escalate, which it is now. And in the next phase, we know that NATO has already been caught with Zelensky with Ukraine 2 years ago shooting missiles into Poland. They tried to blame on Russia. There's been those drones that they claim came out of Russia, but Russia says was basically a setup. A few months ago, you have Operation Spiderweb 3 months ago with smuggled drones as far as 4,000 miles away from Ukraine in Russia on its coast with Japan, with their Bear bombers being blown up, part of their nuclear triad. So imagine if that happened in America, and imagine if Russia had given Mexico the drones to do it. So all of this is NATO.
Hold on, but we haven't invaded Mexico. That's not a good comparison because we haven't invaded Mexico. Number one, we haven't invaded and tried to take Tijuana and Juarez and a bunch of their neighboring countries. Or actually, I stand corrected. Are we going after the cartels, or they're just saying they're going to go after the cartels with the military? Because that actually has been talked about. But still, that's the difference between that. Putin invaded Ukraine.
Now, in the next phase, we know that NATO has already been caught with Zelensky with Ukraine 2 years ago shooting missiles into Poland. They tried to blame on Russia.
So I just fact-checked that because I was assuming Alex Jones says a lot of lies, but apparently even Reuters says Polish experts confirm missile that hit grain facility was Ukrainian 2 years ago. grain facility. Okay. How do we not know that was sent by Russia to blame on Poland or blame on Ukraine? That would be Alex Jones' logic if it was the other way around.
Those drones that they claim came out of Russia, but Russia says was basically a setup. A few months ago, you have Operation Spiderweb.
See. So when Russia bombs something, they say it's a setup. Dude, I literally predicted it right before. Hold on, 1:30. People complaining about me rewinding stuff, but sorry, I like to, just like I reread stuff and I highlight it and I read it over and over again, I like to actually break down and listen and really absorb the propaganda.
All the different proxy countries involved. This really is a new world war. The only question is, will it continue to escalate, which it is now. And in the next phase, we know that NATO has already been caught with Zelensky with Ukraine 2 years ago shooting missiles into Poland. They tried to blame on Russia. There's been those drones that they claim came out of Russia, but Russia says was basically a setup. A few months ago, you have Operation Spiderweb 3 months ago with smuggled drones as far as 4,000 miles away from Ukraine in Russia.
So initially, Ukraine accused Russia of striking Poland, while the U.S. claimed that the missile was likely to have an air defense missile fired by Ukrainian forces at an incoming Russian missile. Why is Alex Jones even bringing that up like it's relevant? It sounds like it was like a friendly fire, or what is he saying? It was supposed to be a failed
10
false
Babylon
flag?
sent $5 on Rumble. Lubavitchers yesterday were marching through the streets of NYC with Moshiach flags saying the Moshiach is coming. Does that happen often?
It does, actually. We've seen them do that. We saw them dancing in the streets with the flag and a Trump flag, the Moshiach flag. I think that was election 2020 is when that clip was. But yeah, they're always got their flags all over the place. I don't know if it's normal that the group of young Lubavitchers walk through the middle of the street with a bunch of flags. I don't know if they've always done it exactly like that. But yeah, I started the show with that yesterday. They must know something. They're up to something over there. Those Lubavitchers, right?
They're up to something over there. I can smell it.
On its coast with Japan, with their Bear bombers being blown up, part of their nuclear triad. So imagine if that happened in America, and imagine if Russia had given Mexico the drones to do it. So all of this is NATO trying to suck the United States directly into full conflict. They've got a 250,000-person army, conscription starting up in parts of Europe.
So what? Trump funds NATO. Trump's the king of NATO, basically. Are you saying Trump is trying to escalate the war into World War III for the globalists? Like, your guy's in there now. How do they square this? Because Putin and Jones have been big Trump shills, but Trump has always been more favorable to Putin than Zelensky.
Descendant of, quote, peacekeeping force to Ukraine, really calling an invasion force a peacekeeping force. And then now, as I predicted, it was the next move. NATO claims that Russia is going into the zero phase or 0 hour, and that NATO's now putting out propaganda the last 48 hours that Russia has pre-positioned undercover Spetsnaz special forces all over Europe preparing terror attacks and mass casualty events, and that Russia is preparing to attack Europe proper, which, of course, is completely insane to do that offensively. And so that fits the pattern of the preparation for false flags that will then be blamed on Russia as the pretext to invoke the articles in NATO.
I think there's going to be a big peace agreement with Trump and Putin before anything. Maybe then in a few years, then a big war will break out. Something else will happen. It'll all go to hell. It'll get crazy. But I do think we're going to see the peace before the big wars.
NATO that brings NATO directly into war, and then if the United States is still part of NATO, that will drag us directly into war with Russia that will quickly escalate into thermonuclear war in every major war game there is. That's why I agree with Elon Musk and Senator Lee that it's time for us to get out of NATO.
Immediately. If you take
immediately, get out of NATO immediately. Let Putin have the cities he invaded. Trump just no more peace through strength, Trump. Just back down, pull out of NATO. Let Putin slaughter a bunch more Christian Russians, or Putin slaughter a bunch more Christian Ukrainians. Yeah, let Putin kill more white Ukrainians. Back out of NATO. Just back down and let the Soviets and the communists and Russia and China just have complete dominance and have no opposition at all. Don't even have the these Duginists here are going from America's the unipolar world to we need a multipolar world to get rid of the Western pole. That's what they're saying with pulling out of NATO. Pulling out of NATO is like the number one topic of Kremlin propaganda from RT that there is.
Steps back. So Europe has no reason to fight Russia at all. Europe has every reason to cooperate with Russia, at least on energy, but on a lot of things probably. It refuses. Russia's now formed an alliance, probably permanent, with China. And so, and Ukraine, of course, can't win. They don't have the manpower.
They've been saying that for like 5 years, that they can't win. It's going to be over. Trump's been rubbing it in Putin's face. He goes, "Hey, Putin, are you a paper tiger? Everybody thought you should have won this war right away. It's dragged out for years." Yeah, we're going to do the South Park episode. We're going to play a lot of it. They've been doing the same type of demoralization. The war's over. They don't stand a chance, right?
They never could. So
they never could, but it's been going on forever. Now you're just begging to break up NATO so Russia can have their way. This guy that goes over to Russia and films propaganda videos like, "Oh, the grocery store. Look, the shelves are full at the grocery store." Like Alex Jones, and that goes to the Dugin conference and always has Dugin on. Dugin's, by the way, saying, we're going to play the clip later. Dugin's saying that Russia should distribute nukes to all of their allies and point them against the West. And every day is like the evil, satanic, antichrist West needs to be destroyed. And these guys are like, we should just pull out of NATO. And
escalating the war at this point, if you're promoting the war at this point, it seems to me your goal is to destroy Europe. And I think that's kind of always been the goal, to destroy Europe and the United States.
Well, there's a Gog and Magog goal to destroy Edom and Russia. That they basically consider Russia a part of Edom, and even America as like Edom. Both sides. It has like dual faces, both of them. But yeah, talk about the rabbis obsessed with Russia is Gog and destroying Edom in the West. Your buddy Dugin knows about Kabbalah. I'm sure he's heard it.
Well, as you stated, it has been the policy in the United States since the 50s, right through Nixon, right through Reagan, right through Herbert Walker Bush, right until just the last 5 years or so, to split China from Russia.
Of course.
And that is a very good policy. And you have China that is actually expanding all over the South China Sea, just cut off 95% of rare earth minerals to the world, including the U.S. Serious act of war, absolutely vital in everything we do. For folks that don't know, nothing works. Cell phones, computers, avionics and aircraft, everything, satellites is based on those. That's another question. How is China allowed to position itself for 95% plus control of rare earth minerals? That's a serious act of war. So their expansion is taking.
Trump said yesterday that we're in a trade war with Russia, and apparently, remember he posted a few days ago too that like Russia was being, or China was being very aggressive. Trade war with China. China was being very aggressive, and that he knee jerked, like said 100% or 200% tariffs on everything, something like that. And then the stock market and Bitcoin all crashed a whole lot. Oh, by the way, too, I asked the question. I wasn't saying it wasn't true. I was just asking if you guys had fact checked it. Hey, I need a new audio interface. I wonder how this one was. From Al-Qaeda to Syria's presidency, the rise of Ahmad al-Sharaa. So apparently it is former Al-Qaeda.
Taking islands, the Philippines, taking drilling rigs, off the coast of Vietnam. All that's happening. They just put a communist government, or trying to fully, in South Korea. So China is on the move, and everything should be focused on them. It is a strategic blunder of biblical proportions to be roped into this Soros-NATO war. But NATO and the EU Unelected Commission has said for years that Europe's demographics and finances are the worst of any first world nation or sector. And so they say their business model is a 20 to 30 year war, conventional with Russia, that they believe will allow them to stay on a war economy and will finally break Russia, and then they will break Russia into 5 parts. That's official EU Commission policy. It's totally delusional. Russia's outproducing weapons 3-1, has 3 times the troops.
Hold on, that sounds like bullshit. Really? If that's so true, where's all the RT and Russia propaganda talking about this? There's a EU plan to break up Russia into 5 pieces. Has anybody heard that before? EU plan break up Russia. EU to be 1 day ago. EU to be ready for war with Russia by 2030.
Field and only gearing up. And so in the face,
I feel like if something like that was true, we would have heard a lot about it. Yeah, it's just like you have heard that. The 5-piece KFC plan. I feel like if that was real, we would have never heard the end of it. Mike Adams, huge Russia shill too. Absolutely.
Of that delusional plan, similar to Napoleon's or Hitler's with Operation Barbarossa in 42, Europe is trying to double down again and sucking us in. But when all the real strategists and even all their think tanks say this wouldn't work, then the question is, why is the unelected commission and the U.S. neocons and left fully supporting this commitment to total
because they
war?
want to.
Hold on. Do you see how he tries to leave Trump? Trump is the president. He is the king of America. And you're complaining about us escalating now more than ever. It's Trump doing it. Trump and Hegseth and Marco Rubio. And who does he blame? How does Alex Jones sit there and try to blame the left and the neocons?
Elected commission has said for years that Europe's demographics and finances are the worst of any first world nation or sector. And so they say their business model is a 20 to 30-year war, conventional with Russia, that they believe will allow them to stay on a war economy and will finally break Russia, and then they will break Russia into 5 parts. That's official EU Commission policy. It's totally delusional.
Dude, this sounds like such bullshit. You're telling me Europe is planning a 30-year war against Russia to fix the economy? Come on. That sounds like such horseshit. Who comes up with this shit? Was he briefed by fucking some Russian right before this? What is this shit?
Russia's
based if true
3-1, has 3 times the troops in the field and only gearing up. And so in the face of that delusion.
Meanwhile, Russia and Putin they're building heavy weapons. They're trying to have their hypersonic advanced nukes, missiles. No, not Mike Adams, the Health Ranger Mike Adams.
Plan similar to Napoleon's or Hitler's with Operation Barbarossa in 42, Europe is trying to double down again and sucking us in. But when all the real strategists and even all their think tanks say this,
the real strategists,
the question,
the real strategists on RT
is, why is the unelected commission and the U.S.
Yeah, a war with Russia would destroy Europe and the economy. It's the stupidest thing ever.
Left fully supporting this commitment to total
because they want to destroy Christian civilization. That's why.
Yes,
that's why they got behind the.
That's why I thought the West was Christian. I thought America is a Christian nation, and all they ever do is talk about Jesus and believing in God. They just want to destroy Russia because they're so Christian. Come on, Ukraine is Christian. I'm pretty sure there's more Ukrainians attend church than Russians, statistically. So it's all Christian nations fighting each other, and he's just like, maybe there is some truth to that. A bunch of Christian nations all killing each other in a big war. That is kind of the plan. That is kind of the Gog and Magog Kabbalist plan. Why is he always trying to blame the West for it, though? The West and the neocons. Like, it's Trump doing this.
First and Second World Wars, and it's why the lesson that they taught us in school was that it's dangerous to have a big white Christian country, which is not, actually. And they've systematically...
Hold on. It was a bunch of Christian countries that destroyed Germany, that helped the communist nation, the Soviet Union. It was Christian countries, Europe and America, backing the communist Soviets against the turning against Christianity back to Germanic paganism Germany. How is that a war to destroy Christians? A bunch of Christians killed each other.
tried to destroy those countries, and they've succeeded.
And Russia is a very Christian nation.
Oh, they're so Christian and good. They're just totally good. And we're just demonic and antichrist. Are we not a Christian nation? Look at Alex Jones's whole network. All the influence they have, whole Republican Party, all ultra-Zionist Christians. But they're making this like it's a war on Russia's Christianity. Come on. Play both sides against each other.
And so now they exactly how do they turn over the chessboard when the Hollywood satanic globalist BlackRock elite are failing is you kamikaze the Russians and America and Europe into a giant climactic war while the globalists sit back.
Did he say BlackRock is failing? The satanic Luciferian BlackRock and globalists in Hollywood are failing. They're not failing. What, all the billionaires and their yachts are failing? Oh, they're just so desperate and failing that they just have to start a war with Russia. Like Russia invaded Ukraine because they've always wanted Crimea and they think it's theirs. That's what actually happened. Here, now the propaganda is coming in thick. Trump works with Larry Fink, too. This is a Trump thing, if anything.
Country, which is not actually, and they've systematically tried to destroy those countries, and they've succeeded.
And Russia is a very Christian.
So America is attacking and going to war against Russia because they're Christian. Meanwhile, Tucker was just at the Charlie Kirk Christian Revival event. Mega church, stadium, worship event.
Very pro-Western, and the left hates that. And so now they exactly how do they turn over the chessboard when the Hollywood satanic globalist BlackRock elite are failing?
Since when is BlackRock failing? BlackRock runs everything. All the top people at BlackRock are like multi-billionaires. They're failing, so they got to flip over the chessboard and that's why they're going to war with Russia for no reason. This is so stupid. This analysis, no wonder RT picked up this Vatnik Russian propaganda slop.
Is you kamikaze the Russians and America and Europe into a giant climactic war while the globalists sit back and watch us all kill each other.
That's totally right. I think that's...
Well, it sounds like he's describing Gog and Magog in the Rabbi plan and the Abrahamic prophecy agenda, but they won't mention that. They say, no, that's the answer. The prophecies are good. It's all happening. We got to talk about the Antichrist. Remember, that's what they say later on in this thing. Yeah, BlackRock is failing, so they got to go to war with Russia. Give me a fucking break.
That's totally right. Why are we participating in it? Why would the U.S. government ever send long-range missiles? Why would basically, if we send those munitions to Ukraine, we're at open war. We've been at war with Russia for 3.5 years, as you know, but that would just be open war. Why would we go along with that? What is going on?
It's sleepwalking into Armageddon. Well, Europe's demographics and financial system means the unelected EU will collapse in the next few years. It's politically unpopular. So the political reason is
they've been doing that on with all of the mass immigration agenda into Europe. They've been trying to destroy it that way on purpose. That's the part of the destroying Edom.
I believe a war will keep them in power, and it's delusional. That's the last refuge of tyrants when they're falling is to take the country to war to try to maintain.
Dude, what is this all of this premise and analysis is based upon BlackRock is failing.
Domestic control. But again, at a spiritual level, it's absolute Satanism. It's absolute death.
Being against, backing Ukraine against Russia is Satanism. Yeah, he gives you a bunch of BS analysis and then just goes, basically at a spiritual level, it's just Satanism. It's just bad and demonic and satanic. And Putin is basically Jesus. He's got Jay Dyer, Russian Orthodox Church, Russian propagandist Jay Dyer hosting Fourth Hour. He's got his manager over there at InfoWars, Daria's Russian. He's got his son, at least he said his son was converting to Russian Orthodox Church. He has on no pro-Ukraine people ever, but tons of Russian propagandists. Oh, I'm just calling balls and strikes. It's just an info war. I'm just covering both sides.
War to try to maintain domestic control. But again, at a spiritual level, it's absolute Satanism. It's absolute death cult, death wish. that if the globalists can't maintain control, they'll just drag us into the grave of history with themselves. And like so many tyrannies,
Dude, the globalists are consolidating more control than ever. What's he talking about, this idea that the globalists are about to lose all their power? He's playing a role for the end time theater, right?
they are going like the elephant graveyard or boneyard to Russia to die.
Why would the U.S. government continue to recognize Zelensky, who's an unelected dictator who's worked for years to destroy Christianity in Ukraine, which is a Christian country and has always been?
Dude, he shut down the Russian Orthodox Church. The guy's Russian. The guy's Christian. His wife is Christian. His kids were baptized. Zelensky's wife is Christian and his kids were baptized. He was elected. They're in a war. They got invaded. That's why they canceled some recent elections. Dude, this is such... He's a dictator. Putin's not a dictator who's been in power for like over 20 years. No, Zelensky, the guy that's been in charge for just a few years, he's the unelected dictator. Putin's elections are totally legit. Come on. Listen to these guys.
Continue to recognize Zelensky, who's an unelected dictator who's worked for years to destroy Christianity in Ukraine, which is a Christian country and has always been. Why would he be invited to the White House this week?
Hold on. How many mosques are being built in Russia also? Putin goes and lights the menorah and is close with Chabad Lubavitch in Russia too. Is that pro-Christian?
I don't understand.
Putin's been in power since 1999. I think Zelensky's been in charge. He won his election, I want to say 2017. 2019. Or was it 2014 and 2019? It's 2019. It's been 6 years. Why isn't this loading?
When he does not have a Democratic mandate. He's not an elected leader. He's a murderer. They've sold our weapons.
A murderer? Putin's never murdered anybody. Come on. And it's Trump backing Zelensky, too. If you're going to blame anybody for backing Zelensky, it's Trump. Funny how he just has no role in this, apparently.
Riding Wave sent $5. Got it to go AG duty call. Keep it.
Did you see you have to go poop duty? What was that? You got to go? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Thanks for the support.
And we're treating him like he's a head of state. Like, why are we doing that?
And just a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he was back at the White House and Trump then posted through social. And I love Trump overall, but Trump started doing a 180 from saying we need to get out of this to saying, well, we're out of it, but we'll sell whatever weapons to Europe you want. And I feel like Ukraine's going to win and maybe not just get back its territory, but get more territory, meaning Russia, which is an extremely provocative and escalatory statement to Russia. And we know that Putin agreed actually to the framework of what Trump wanted, but Zelensky and NATO have refused.
That is a lie. Dude, it's the exact opposite. Trump and Zelensky got together and created a deal, and Putin said no. And that's why Trump was pissed and starting to threaten him. How could Jones... Dude, Jones is such a pathological liar.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I'm sorry, but we got to back up these lies. It's every 10 seconds there's some big new Kremlin lie. 8:30.
Not just get back its territory, but get more territory, meaning Russia, which is an extremely provocative and escalatory statement to Russia. And we know that Putin agreed actually to the framework of what Trump wanted, but Zelensky and NATO have refused. And so we have to ask the calculus of why the president who's...
No. Putin agreed. Trump did not go to Putin with a deal that he did not agree with. Dude, Jones is such a liar. Putin, remember all the trash Trump was talking about Putin, calling him crazy, saying he's killing people, saying he wants to take all of Ukraine. Threatening him with the nuclear subs. And he's trying to say, oh no, it was actually Putin wanted to make a deal. They didn't. It was Trump saying Putin didn't want to make the deal. Just the exact inversion of reality from these Russia talking head mouthpieces.
You know, Mr. Peace Prize has done a great job helping end 7 other conflicts, which I totally support. Why is he suddenly changing course, Tucker? You know him a lot better than I do.
So did you know that before the current generation, chips and fries were cooked in...
Oh my God, get your tallow fries. What are we at? 8 minutes? Okay, so it looks like that's it.
In natural fats.
Let's see what they talk about when he comes back from this.
Tucker, you know him a lot better than I do.
So did you know that before the current generation bags them...
But that sucks all the oxygen out of the room, and all people talk about is the 50,000 dead Gazans in October 7th, where clearly net.
Look like it's over. So this is why RT clipped up a bunch of this stuff.
They're about to storm the back.
Actually, here's a different clip of it.
Oh, by the way, I've tried to interview.
Later on in the show, they talked more about it.
Oh, by the way, I've tried to interview him like 20 times. He refused to do an interview with me, but he's everywhere in the United States, basically American at this point. What's the appeal there?
I think it's the money laundering appeal and the fact that that's where most of the money laundering is still able to go on.
Putin does no money laundering, definitely not. Russia money laundering, corruption, come on, never in Russia. Nobody even knows how much money Putin has. Putin's could be one of the richest people on earth. Definitely one of the richest people on earth. Never laundered a dime. KGB communist dictator of Russia.
Since Trump and Doge and Elon shut down a lot of the graft and USAID and the EPA and Department of Energy, that clearly that is a place where they can launder money and where they can go over there and be like rock stars in Kiev and have all the prostitutes. The rest of it, reportedly, it's Sodom and Gomorrah over there. The women are just partying while the men, boys and old men go off to die. It's a very
just one side just completely globalist and satanic and evil, and Putin's just a Christian angel. Never murdered anybody, never laundered money. No, there's no prostitution in Russia. There's no prostitutes for all the high-level communists. Definitely not.
Very sick situation.
They're Christian. Russia would never.
And just the height of decadence. We've heard the quote of Marie Antoinette, which they never proved she said it, where they're about to storm the Bastille, the start of the French Revolution. And they say the peasants are all starving. They're begging for grain. They're begging for wheat. And she says, let them eat cake. And then you saw what happened. Well, this is literally let them eat cake while our country's infrastructure falls apart, while millions die from fentanyl, while crime is rampant in the streets.
Where is that going, do you think?
It's an extreme escalatory phase, 3.5 plus
Okay, that's the
years
clip
in.
from the beginning that we saw. Look, check out Harrison Smith on InfoWars, too. This type of rhetoric, huge alarm bells go off in my head. Huge red flags I see waving around. I'm seeing red flags when I hear stuff like this from Harrison.
We have fallen. Here's an idea. Can Vladimir Putin invade us already? Can he free us from these people? Please, for the love of God, can we get Russia to come into America and free us from this tyranny, please?
Really? It's like, that's not going to happen. Not in a million years is that ever going to happen. He calls America racist. He supported BLM and said, oh, you're racist against blacks in America. So it's not going to happen. So just saying this type of stuff. Meanwhile, Russia is promoting extremists from both sides and trying to cause chaos and division and demoralization and all types of active measures and propaganda. And this type of stuff, this type of glorifying of Putin.
Here's an idea. Can Vladimir Putin invade us already? Can he free us from these people? Please, for the love of God, can we get Russia to come into America and free us from this tyranny?
Yeah, invade us, Putin. Save us, save us, Daddy Putin. Who says stuff like that? Bizarre. Here's Jones the other day, 5 days ago. The Russia shilling is off the charts. Myron, fresh and fit Myron, is oddly, the guy does a podcast where he talks about like women and manosphere stuff, but he's got a real hard on for Putin and super strong opinions that don't even seem like organic to me. That's pro-Russia. His manager, his producer manager is a Russian Jew, part Russian Jew. The numerology guy I've talked to on a couple spaces. But listen to this.
Just like NATO.
Russia is amazing. Kremlin wars.
Just like NATO's holding us hostage with Russia.
They are, yeah.
Oh, Russia. No, the West started it, folks. They brag.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the West. They brag. It's all them. Yeah, Putin never invaded. Was Ukraine a sovereign country? If they feared an invasion by Putin, so they said, hey, we're worried about Putin trying to come and take land they think is theirs. Right? So Putin invades, and it's the West's fault. It's NATO's fault. Putin had to invade, or they'd be right on his doorstep. So you invaded, and now they're still right on each other's doorstep, and now the war has escalated more than ever. Hey, if Trump always brags, if he was in power, Putin wouldn't have invaded. Doesn't that kind of imply that Putin invading was in the wrong there?
Just like NATO's holding us hostage with Russia.
They are, yeah.
Oh, Russia. No, the West started it, folks. They brag.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Russophile. Never been to Russia. Not against the Russians. I'm just tired of being held hostage by these people.
Never been to Russia, but you just appear at Dugin conferences that are based in Russia and been on Russia TV a whole bunch of times.
It's like North Korea holding us hostage.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if people are going to dispute the fact that like we didn't like antagonize Russia with the whole NATO expansion, whatever, like NATO's created more problems than help. Like it's served this purpose. I don't even.
Years ago, Putin said, I think he said he doesn't want Ukraine. I think he even said that they're allowed to join Ukraine. Don't quote me on that. I have to double check that. But I remember seeing an old clip of Putin saying one of those two things.
I don't know why we're still involved with them.
It's
a big, and I see Trump trying to distance himself. He wants to limit the amount of money that goes into it. It's a big bureaucracy. It's a bunch of BS.
No, Trump. What is this running cover for Trump? Like Trump isn't the point man on this. Oh, he's trying to pull the money back. No, he's talking about just the other day. He was like, "What do you need? Tomahawk missiles?"
Yes, man. The whole NATO.
Well, we're being held hostage by these bureaucracies.
No, we are. Absolutely we are. It's ridiculous. And honestly,
I mean, the EU is a flagrant tyranny now.
They are. And
just like I'm not against Jews, I'm not against Europeans, but I'm against their governments.
They're cooked.
And I don't say that as like a couch, like, oh, don't censor me. I'm already censored. It's not like, oh, I'm really secretly Hitler, but I don't. No, I genuinely love everybody. I'm not against the people of Europe or Israel. Your leaders are evil.
Yeah,
they're gonna get us all killed.
And not only that, like Europe has failed. Like the
demographics
have failed. Like it doesn't look like Europe anymore. Mass immigration is destroying it in every way. Their economies are trash. Like
I mean, Europe's the new Soviet Union.
Slowly but surely.
So just constantly hating on Europe and America and glazing Putin and Russia all the time. Okay, look at this. Look at some of these graphics. Why do Alex Jones and InfoWars rely heavily on Russia's state-funded television? Dude, when Jones, he really started growing in popularity when he was on RT all the time. So many times back in this 2008, 2010. Max Kaiser had the show on RT. Ron Paul had a show on RT. Russia, Soviet Today. Hold on, there's another good graphic. Oh, yeah, all the times Dugin's been on. Hey, does he ever have the equivalent of a Ukrainian Dugin on his show to give the other side? Jay Dyer and Dugin. Promoting Russian intelligence asset Dugin. He has this guy, Victor Bout, on. He was the guy that they did the prisoner swap
sent
with.
$5 at him. NATO lying and propaganda
What
is also
propaganda?
obvious.
What?
In the same breath, Western media says Russia is on its heels and then Russia is preparing to invade and conquer Europe. CO Theater.
Well, I haven't. You'd have to show me them saying both of those things. And they can be on their heels and still do another invasion in another city. So here's the Russian guy. Whenever there's a Russia thing in the news, he'll always have on a Russian propagandist, but never the other side. Never somebody to give the other side. Promoting Russian intelligence asset? I don't know much about this guy. Victor Bout, arms dealer. Simeon Boykov. Aussie Cossack. Australian branch. Is this guy Russian or is he just Australian citizen? Okay, not sure about that guy.
Connie sent $20 just
Thank
dropped
you,
into
Connie.
Make a Dono. We'll watch later. Thanks again for all you do.
If you want to tune in later, thank you so much. If you want to tune in later, we're going to be watching the latest South Park episode, highlights from it. And then we have a segment on Roman technology and the dark ages of Christianity that destroyed it. Okay, so here was a couple months ago. Elon Musk's dad, speaker at Dugin's forum, he went there. It's Dugin's conference in Moscow. Other speakers, Alex Jones. What's this guy's name? This Jewish guy. He's always on all the shows. He's the critic of Israel. That's the Russian propagandist as well. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's been real popular lately. This guy, also huge Russia shill, George Galloway, proud communist George Galloway that worked with the communist of South Africa. Jackson Hinkle, Alex Jones spoke at the Dugin conference via, I think he delivered a video message there. What's this guy's name? It'll come to me in a second. Chat. Jeffrey Sachs, thank you. Yeah, Jeffrey Sachs, that's David Duke's favorite Jew, I remember he said in his debate. Max Blumenthal was on this list too. In the next, if you were to scroll down on this page, he was there too. Here's Dugin. So, get out of NATO. NATO's holding us hostage. Russia's good and Christian, and we're the evil satanic globalist BlackRock that's falling down and trying to start a war and like all this shit. Meanwhile, Dugin's like, we need to nuclear arm all countries and point them at the West and destroy the West. And they're like, they're our friends. We should just break up NATO and let them have Ukraine. And Putin's an angel. Zelensky's an evil unelected dictator. It's just like total gaslighting and inversion. No, it's not. It doesn't seem natural or organic or sincere coming from these guys.
All enemies of American time, and we are going to distribute nuclear weapon to everybody who can use it against the West. Let's
nuclear weapons against everybody against the West.
And we are entering into the war against hegemonic West that has already begun to do that against us. It is just the delay, but now we are trying to save the time, and we are going to distribute nuclear weapon to everybody who can use it against the West. Let's.
Why won't Jones call this out when he has Dugin on his show all those times? Funny how he glazes Dugin. But then, anybody that's on the other side is evil and satanic and antichrist. Dugin all the time. Look, this was just him 2 days ago. We have fallen in love with the West. We have fallen in love with the devil. Edom in the West is the satanic antichrist devil. Okay, thank you, Rabbi Dugin, for that anti-Edom analysis. Ring, things happen, we pay for this love, huge price with death and torture. The healthiest thing would be to hate the West as much as possible. It deserves it. And you think like I hear the excuse like, oh, he's not talking about regular Americans and Europeans. He's talking about the Zionist, obviously, right? No, actually, he says they have nothing against Judaism. Nothing against Judaism, he says. And then he praises Kabbalah.
Faith in Kabbalah tradition is the greatest achievement of human spirit.
That's right. Dugin did used to be a Satanist, or at least he read what was it, Bolshevik Party, Bolshevik Nationalist Party or something, and then he's on video reading some poem to, was it Aleister Crowley? Some satanic thing regarding Aleister Crowley, I think it was. Jeffrey Sachs helped create the oligarchs in Russia. I saw also Jeffrey Sachs had some paper with the UN for like mass immigration into Western countries. Yes, he did. The videos on, that's what right. It was like a Crowley satanic thing.
That was Israel. Think that finally that was Israel. Russian state, Putin personally, has nothing against Israel. So
nothing against Israel. So no, when he says he's anti-West, he's not talking about Zionist. He's not talking about Israel influence. The Russia propaganda, some of the key Russia propaganda lines you see the Russia propaganda saying is, they'll say Zionism is not Judaism. They won't blame Israel for things. They'll say they're a colony of America. They'll say it's white colonialism and they're a proxy of America. They'll say that shit also, blaming America for what Israel does. No, they say they have no problem with Israel. It's just the evil Europeans, the satanic globalist Atlanticists.
Or against Jews. So think that finally that was Israel. Russian
Dugin is anti-white.
Putin personally has nothing against Israel, or against Jews. So normally in our society we have no hostility toward Jews or toward Israel. And more than that, we have many Russian Jews that are living there. So there is a kind of sympathy for Israel and for Jews in Russia in general. So being anti-West, anti-NATO, we are not against Israel by the principle. Think that
wow. So anti-West, he says clearly, is not anti-Israel. How about that? Just hating, basically just hating Edom like a good Kabbalist.
Acknowledge that if the West could give nuclear weapon to Israel against Iran and pretend that nothing happened, we are going to overcome all the restrictions, all red lines, because nobody respect our red lines. If you don't respect what we mean by red lines, so we are not going to respect your red lines. So I think we are going to supply all kind of strategical weapon to all enemies of American hegemony, Western hegemony against NATO, starting from Middle East, Israel, Far East, North America. We are going to war. Now we consider ourselves in the place of the global resistance against Western hegemony, because we are victim of what we consider to be the attack of the West against us.
Meanwhile, they want their Russian world. They want Russia to basically, their prophecies in Russia, end times, eschatology, is some wild shit.
Israel is kind of
this Russian Orthodox cult.
Israel is kind of proxy of United States in the Middle East. All the support or the supply or all the help, military, financial, diplomatic, political, to Israel is provided by Washington. A response of Israel was just a genocide, the pure, clear genocide, totally supported by the West. So, and step by step, the conflict in Gaza is becoming the full-scale war between the powers of resistance in Middle East, Lebanon, Syria, I think Iraq and Iran as well, against not so much Israel but against the West. So I think the beginning of this attack of Hamas was precisely that. The goal was not to win Israel. That is ridiculous. But to start the global Middle Eastern Intifada, not so much against Israel, but against the West. Second point, I think that Netanyahu...
See, not against Israel, against the West.
Wants that because it helps to him to save his own position. He is far-right, radical, ultra-nationalist in Israel politics, and the war gives him the opportunity to keep the power, to realize its own or far-right hopes on second coming of Mashiach. That leads to this destruction of Al-Aqsa Mosque and beginning of the building of third temple. That is the clearly far-right agenda of Israel far-right. So that is, they consider the war against Arab, including genocidal war, as the part of this eschatological scenario in order to blow up Al-Aqsa and to start to build third temple. That is Israeli far-right agenda.
And you've got no problem with that? That's Judaism, and you say you have no problem with it, and you love, that's Kabbalah, and you say Kabbalah is the greatest thing of human spirit? He doesn't believe in any of this religion, but he is pushing and agitating all of these different factions for an apocalyptic war against the West because of Russia's end times prophecies.
So and the Shia, who are much more active, they regard the situation as well.
Right, Jenna. Playing the end times theater on the Russian
same
side.
eschatological perspective, because for Shia believes that the final war between believers, Muslims, and Dajjal, a kind of Antichrist, will start in the Palestine, will start in the Syria, in the Holy Land, and in Jerusalem. So we see the second front broadening in Middle East.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Look, he says the West is not Judeo-Christian. Yes, all Christianity is Judeo-Christian. Apocalypse delay, demonic mandate, Muslims, satanic culture. Just like the rabbis always saying Edom is, the rabbis say the guardian angel of Edom is Satan. And then Dugan's calling us satanic and antichrist all the time. And Harrison Smith is calling for Daddy Putin to invade America and liberate us. And look at this. What do they teach in the Russian Orthodox Church? Zelensky had every right. He'd be an idiot not to shut down the spies, traitor network of the Russian Orthodox Church in Ukraine. See through it all says they are framing it as heretical, satanic, Zionist, Christian West, BS, trad, Orthodox Christian Russia, right? Verse, trad, Orthodox Christian Russia, right? And then when we got these ortho bros, Russian Orthodox Church ortho bros, what do they say? Hey, should we save America? No, America doesn't matter. Empires come and go. It's satanic and evil. Maybe it deserves the wrath of God, right?
West save. He said you got to quit worrying about saving.
So he's saying his Russian Orthodox Church father told him this.
He said you got to quit worrying about saving the empire, saving the West, saving America. He's like, empires come and go, and the church has been here throughout time.
Right.
And so don't be so concerned with how to politically save this country, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
He said,
dude, this is the people that they say we're supposed to unite with. Criticizing these people that say, who cares if we get destroyed? Who cares if the West collapses? At least the Russian Orthodox Church will survive. The church will be okay.
You got to quit worrying about saving the empire, saving the West, saving America.
Don't worry about saving ourselves, our futures. Hey, we got a bunch of Jesus. We worship a Jew. Who cares about saving our civilization?
Throughout time.
Right.
And so don't be so concerned with how to politically save this country, because it's not going to happen.
Right. We're not going to save ourselves. Don't worry about it. Only Jesus can save us. Just pray that Jesus is going to come down in a cloud and save
worrying
us.
about saving the empire, saving the West, saving America. He's like, empires come and go, and the church has been here throughout time.
Right.
And so don't be so concerned with how to politically save this country, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Do these guys seem like are these guys crusaders defending Western civilization? Clearly not.
Diffinal sent $5 on Rumble. Adam, having served in Iraq and AFG, I have a different take. I think the leaders of Islam need to get a war going because young people are abandoning Islam quickly. As you know, Islam is not defendable.
I don't think any of the religions are really defendable, but I don't really see Muslim countries trying to start wars, though. What Muslim country is trying to start a war with us, or a war with Europe or anything? I haven't seen that. I don't even know what you're referring to. Look, here's another one. Prophecies about America being destroyed. These guys there's no difference between these guys and John Hagee, who has his book, Earth's Last Empire, with the eagle of Rome, and these Russian Orthodox Church Duganists. Prophecies about destroying Rome. And by the way,
vengeance of other countries.
This ortho bro here, this Orthodox father, was hanging out on the day that they recorded for that Christian documentary, the one with Tucker Carlson, where he told his amazing story of being scratched by a demon in his bed with 4 dogs. He was there. He was photographed with him there when they recorded that.
Because they are the cause of evil that happens to humanity, the worst will happen. Why did they not?
Prophecies regarding America, that it has to be destroyed because of this end times death cultist. So here's your Russian Orthodox Church propagandist talking about, we can't save the West, no political solution, empires come and go. And then prophecies, the prophecies say America's evil and Sodom and Gomorrah and it's satanic and needs to be destroyed. Rabbis, same exact rhetoric. Do you see what's happening here?
You know, this right here, America will be completely destroyed and 90% of its citizens will be killed. There's something similar with Elder Vasilios Kasoukalitis on the first page, where he says up there, it will not have life at all. Not here.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure there are sects of Muslims and Muslims that are hyped on having some end times war with all the infidels. But what I meant was, like, I don't see any Muslim countries like trying to start a war with us. Iran, I guess you could say. Edom is their frame, right?
Not there, not at all. It will turn off, whatever that's not a good translation. But from weather phenomena, from diseases, from vengeance of other countries, because they are the cause of evil that happens to humanity, the worst will happen.
The imams, okay, not the countries, just some of the leaders. Yeah, I agree with that. That checks out.
Repent. Okay, so it doesn't jive with, in my reading, there will be massive destruction. I've heard this multiple times, like we already said, that America is absolutely, as a collective, whole, and as the leadership of America, and all this, we could talk about this for a long time, is responsible the world over for terrible things, exporting immorality, exporting. We talked about this last night, actually, in our live stream about Revelation, about the basically the corruption of all humanity through the Babylon, right? Which is America's a kind of Babylon.
Right. Oh, Americans, okay, Rabbi. Americans, Babylon. Americans, Edom. We're the satanic empire. We need to be destroyed by God's wrath. Dude, these people are like enemies, national security threat enemies of the West and America. These Russian Orthodox shills.
Sent $20 on Rumble. Happy Thursday, Adam.
Thank you, Asylum.
Of Rome.
Appreciate it.
The exporting, trafficking and pornography and all that stuff. This is.
Don't disappreciate it. I need it. I need the support if I'm going to be doing streams every day, guys. I got kids to feed.
A huge reason why there's going to be World War III. There's a guy like the most recent flowering of holiness in the church in Greece says that there's 3 main causes for World War III. And one is the sexual perversity, both in marriage and mainly in marriage among Christians. And then, of course, all the rest that's outside of marriage.
World War III because of sexual immorality, really?
And the sorcery and the magic and all the rest.
Yep.
And then,
America needs to be destroyed because of the occult and the magic. World War III is going to happen because of all these magicians and witches. Come on. This guy, this rat-looking guy with his pew beard and his stupid hat and robe being taken seriously by kooks like Patrick Harry with all of his Jew icon worship behind him. These Jay Dyer bros.
Those are the three main causes. I would throw in heresy and distortion of the body of Christ in ecumenism. But in any case, the fact that America has been the great Satan, to take the Ayatollah Khomeini's words. I mean,
America's the great Satan. The great Satan. Okay, Rabbi. Okay, Dugan.
It's kind of, even coming from an Aryan and a delusional leader of Islam, he's right. I mean, America has exported debauchery for decades upon decades upon decades, and the world over says this is the source of so much. So, will there be a price to pay? Absolutely.
Debauchery.
Spiritual laws are at work because there's no repentance.
Hold on. Are we pretending that the rest of the world wouldn't have like drug use or alcohol or sexual stuff or violence or horror if it weren't for America? Did America invent gay people? I mean, Hollywood, the liberals and Jews that run Hollywood, they do push diversity and LGBTQ and that type of stuff. I'll give them that. But to act like America is just like the source of all evil in the world is kooky Russian Christian bullshit.
There's no repentance. Now, if there was mass repentance, like in the days of Nineveh, there would be no destruction. But to say that there will be no life at all, I mean, that is to such an extreme degree. It doesn't jive with what I just said about the monasteries and the people coming back to the faith and all that after the war. And then this
Neanderthulian sent $5 on Rumble. Hail Adam Green.
Thanks, bro.
There's going to be a rejuvenation, or at least a maintaining of the faith among certain Orthodox, among the monasteries and all the rest. So no life at all at the end of the war. It just seems to be like maybe there's a miscommunication, or maybe there's something wrong, or maybe that's meant to bring about repentance and it won't happen. I don't know.
Okay, here we go. I was right. Go back to the Russia part for a second. In 2002, Putin said he had no issues with Ukraine accelerating its ties with NATO. But then Ukraine says, hey, we fear getting invaded. We want to join NATO for protection. Are they a sovereign country? Do they not have the freedom to do that? Oh no, Putin, that was escalating. They provoked Putin. He had to invade. NATO expansion is not the reason for the invasion. He says NATO expansion in general, our position on this remains unchanged. Ukraine is a sovereign state and has the right to choose its own path to ensure its security. I do not see anything special here or anything that could overshadow the relations between Russia and Ukraine.
Raspberry sent $20 on Rumble. Happy Thursday.
Thank you, Raspberry. Happy Thursday. Streams every day this week. Ukraine is a sovereign state and has the right to choose. 2002 Putin. I thought that's what it was. Zornder Edom, I don't know why you got such a hard-on with worshiping Putin. Shady influence in impacting Ukraine's government? Yes, from both sides. Russia and CIA and NATO. Yes, I believe both sides were messing around there. To pretend like it was only one side is the ones that people say that they're the ones that are dishonest. Hey, Zornder Edom, your guy Putin just said Ukraine is a sovereign nation and they have the right to choose what alliances they want to have.
Sent $30 5 shekel prove that you're not a Jew challenge. Owen Schroyer and Leonardo Joni need to be on your show. Have you contacted them?
No, not recently. Not recently, but you're right. Those are two leading guests I want to do collabs with. So we'll see. Putin doesn't know how to do anything other than lie. What is this one? Oh, yeah. This is where he said he will never want to take Crimea. So another lie.
Main problem with Ukraine. First of all, we don't want to take Crimea. That's absolute nonsense. If we start taking something from someone, then something will definitely be taken from us, or we will lose something. In any case,
this is before he got in or right when he got in 1999? Dude, he's been in charge for 26 years. Zelensky's been in charge for 6 years. And all the Russian propagandists are calling Zelensky the dictator.
Initiating such a redistribution within the territory of the...
Hey, Zornder Edom, who's full of shit now? Who's the liar? Here he is saying he doesn't want it. It's no way, he'll never take Crimea. Another lie. Your guy's a liar. How about that?
Crimea. That's absolute nonsense. If we start taking something from someone, then something will definitely be taken from us, or we will lose something. In any case,
Dukin's all over talking about genociding Ukraine and taking it, and it's Russia's. Putin even makes the argument that it was always theirs. That's what these people always say. Ukraine's not a real country. It's always been Russia. And then go, oh, but they would never, they just had to invade because of Ukraine, because of NATO. Bullshit.
Initiating such a redistribution within the territory of the former Soviet Union would lead to consequences from which we may never recover. There are already 400 disputed territories within the Russian Federation.
$5. Thanks
Johan.
for the stream, Adam. What does your mom think of your work? Are you going to give her a copy of the book?
I don't talk to my mom about my work. I don't talk to her about religion, about any of this stuff. Years ago, like before I started talking about it online and doing videos, I might have talked to her about it, but my mom's an old, sweet church lady, and I'm just going to let her be her.
400. I want everyone to be aware.
She's not interested to. She doesn't know about it, doesn't care about it.
Within the Russian Federation. 400. I want everyone to be aware of this. Secondly, the issues of sugar and gas are separate matters. Thirdly, some things are debatable, but hear me out. The main problem, in my opinion, is Russia's heavy imperial legacy. For some reason, everyone thinks that Russia remains an empire. But now I ask you to listen to me carefully. People still view Russia as an empire and treat it as such.
Yahweh sent $5 on Rumble. Not a Jew.
I like that. Nahweh, like no way to Yahweh. Good one. Good mix.
Hasn't been the case for a long time now.
Main problem with Ukraine.
First of all, we don't want to take Crimea. That's absolute nonsense. If we start taking something...
Total lie. And then they took Crimea.
Asylum 8 sent $10 on Rumble. Dugan should be jailed for how annoying his voice is alone.
Yeah, does anybody do a good Dugan voice? I don't even want to try, but I've heard some people do it. Okay, that concludes our Russian propaganda section and Russia war section. Now, let's see. Hour and 30 minutes. We got... Where is it? There it is. Need More Amalek's abridged version of the relevant parts of last night's South Park about Peter Thiel and the Antichrist and Christ Bros. What was the name of the episode? I saw somebody say what the thing was. The name of the episode. It's something Christian. Anyway, let's check this out. Haven't seen any of it yet. I saw like a 10-second clip, but apparently it's talking about religion and Christianity and his tap. Dude, this Christian principal character, is he the principal or the gym teacher, or what is he? I forget, but he's a hardcore Christ cock. That is so funny. There's some satanic numerology stuff going on here. The 6s and 7s.
So I want to remind you, this is a Power Christian school, and I am a Power Christian principal, and we will be PC. So now...
PC, Power Christian. Dude, I love the Christian. Dude, how tapped in are these guys? I feel like the creators of South Park are watching my show. That's almost what it feels like.
And breathe in through your nose and out through your...
Yeah, dude, that should be the new soundboard, huh? Here, add this to the soundboard. Sorry, people complaining about me rewinding. I'm sorry, but I've never seen this. Sometimes I like to watch it twice. You can watch it twice, all right? Oh, who is that? Ariel? What is that girl's name? The Jewish girl? Ariel, the Christian girl? I forget her name. Dude, it's like every MAGA bimbo right here. The big cross right between the big boobs and the cleavage. So funny. You ever seen something? Dude, that's got to go on the soundboard right there. You ever seen a more Christian girl in your life? Yeah, she... not hating, but it does look a little bit, the face, Blonde doesn't put out her boobs like this, but the face does kind of look like Blonde. You're right.
You're going to fit in
the hair.
Fine, Jesus.
MAGA makeover. Chat, can you stop kvetching saying that this is Jewish? We know one of the guys at South Park is Jewish. We all know. Do you have to start spurging and saying it over and over again? That's why we're watching it. The top Jewish cartoon is talking about religion. Chill the fuck out. God, I hate the spurgs. Dude, can we not monitor the propaganda? Oh my God, they nail it. The trans thing, making people read the Bible and want to be Christians. All of these girls becoming Christians overnight because of the satanic stuff in Hollywood. This is so funny. This looks like Don Jr.'s ex-wife. What's her name? Forget. You know who I'm talking about. Don Jr.'s ex-girlfriend, the Fox News lady. It's too easy. Oh, I'm not allowed to laugh at them making fun of MAGA bimbos. Okay. We're not allowed. Okay, I'm not allowed to laugh. Sorry. Yeah, Kimberly Guilfoyle. Yeah. You're not allowed to laugh at jokes if a Jew made it. Shut up. Dude, these commenters in the live chat, purity spiraling. Sorry, I'm not allowed. I didn't know I was not allowed to watch cartoons.
To a lot of podcasts, and once I went through my transition, I was like, "This is great." Only now, garbage in my life. It's like I just got so sick of everyone. My wife.
Shoot, sorry guys. She started reading the Bible. Well, actually, she just started listening to podcasts. Started reading the Bible, and it's like these Christians that become Christians off of memes. Dude, it's so funny. I love it. She's got the cross necklace, the cross earrings, all the plastic surgery and heavy makeup. Sorry, not a lot. Sorry, Anon in the live chat. Not allowed to laugh at a cartoon making fun of Christians. Accurately depicting a lot of these Christians out here. There's the average Christian in the comments getting mad at me. Zerka. Every Christian crusader online right here became a Christian from memes and podcasts 3 months ago. Got a problem with Jesus, bro? You're a Jew. Want to throw down? Bow down to Jesus or we're going to kill you, bro. Dude, I love it. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt this scene. This is how the E-Crusaders actually see Jesus. Like, if they actually read the Bible, what the Bible says, like, turn the other cheek and love your enemy, that's gay woke stuff. Like, Jesus had a whip and he was a badass Aryan anti-Semite. Like, that's not real Jesus. Same exact thing. Jesus is a fact. You're right. Totally.
Asylum 8 sent $10 on Rumble. This Spurg's spaghetti reasoning is so spot on. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
This is great. This is the best part. Asking Jesus if he's a...
Writing Wayne sent $5. I said I got to go because I had to pick up my son, not go. I heard you say that on my way out. Lol.
Base dad picking up son, or maybe mom, I'm not sure. Awesome. Hey guys, remember this one? Remember when South Park did this character? Maybe they are watching. Maybe. What's going on, South Park? Oh my gosh. That is so great. Cheap boob job, yeah. Okay, that is amazing. A lot of that is definitely getting added to the soundboard. All right, how much time do we have? 2 hours in, we're still doing this. Or maybe I should save it. Tell you what. We'll do it. It won't take too long. How long is this clip? Oh, 10 minutes. No, we're going to have to do this tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for the Roman Empire stuff. I got to get going right now. We will cover this and whatever else developing news that happens after today. We will cover Richard Carrier talking about the Dark Ages and ancient. He has a book on ancient Roman science and technology. And then we're going to go through a bunch of these clips that I got of ancient Roman technology, which is amazing. Look at this.
To distribute water in their cities, built on the city's highest ground.
Able to accomplish all of this, peak civilization without the Bible. Without Jewish myths, they had all of this. People go, look at those cool buildings, those churches. Jesus did that. We couldn't have done that without my Bible and my King of the Jews. So we're going to cover all that tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Let me know what you think in the comments. Clip the show, share it, subscribe star link below. Sign up for $5 or $10 or $20 a month so I can get to continue doing. I'm going to do a stream every day this week. 2 to 3 hours every day this week. Working on the book at night. I'm not even kidding, guys. It is so close to being done. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but it really is so close. Love you all. See you guys again tomorrow. Take care. Have a nice night.